So this is your very own Saba speaking, your Baruch Fleischman here from beautiful Boca Raton, Florida, where the weather is always great. We're going to be going into the rainy season here soon, which means mosquitoes. Right now, there's no mosquitoes all the way from, I would say, after Sukkot, all the way to after Pesach, really into Sfira. But somewhere in Sfira, it changes, the weather changes completely like on a dime. It's like the other half, all of a sudden, you're in it. That's where we're going to be here in beautiful Boca. We want to talk about the yeshiva, or the kollel, the Tikkun elevator kollel. So I made up that name. I don't know why. But I know what I was thinking like this. My name is Baruch. Baruch is also the name, as we learned in the shir this morning, it's the name of Yesod. So I'm a person who wants to pour out. That's just what the best I could say about this. Is interesting how Hashem arranges lives. So I want to pour out like a Yesod, I guess. Now, deep, I wanted to tell you what we need to do. In the Tikkun Elevator Kollel, what we need to do is bring this Yesod on an elevator ride up to Das. This is the Tikkun Elevator Kollel. And what we're learning all about this is what has to be done in order to sweeten the dinim of a world that was created in din. Creation itself is a din. And how to sweeten those dinim. Understand how it is that dinim can be terribly punishing, and how it is that they can be sweetened, and us little people, we don't necessarily know which one is which. So I went to RECHOVOT NAHAR. I was privileged to really daven in really a Spanish-style Sephardic setting in Miami Beach, in Shari Ezra there. And I spent 4 years learning how to daven Sephardi style. As a result, I found RECHOVOT NAHAR. I started learning Kabbalah in a deeper sense with Rabbi Mimran. And I got to practice. Hashem arranges things. Now, what we're really trying to do, what I really want to do, is introduce to YouTube and to whoever lives on. I really only know how to use YouTube. I have no idea how to do anything else. I don't know how to make captions or anything like that. I just saying this. So last time, one of the cautions, I should have said this first, and I'm going to write it maybe in the description. During Sfira, because of the constriction that is taking place at this time, and the tremendous amount of, I think, din that's around us all the time, the Mekubalim don't use the RASHASH at all, thinking that it could be easily stolen or misinterpreted by the other side. So, but nonetheless, we study the RASHASH. But here we're in a place in the SIDUR, RECHOVOT NAHAR, that after you went through V'yihi Achar Dvarim Ha'ela and you talked about Abraham and the Akedah, we went through a lot of that. There are a few prayers which are beautiful, but we're trying to learn the RASHASH. And we came into this phrase like they're the 13 midos of Rachamim. Turns out there's two separate ones. There's one of the bold print that is from Micha, and then there's another one which came from it comes from the Chumash, which is Keil Rachum V'Chanom Erich Anpin. Now you have to know this. If you don't know this, well, this is not the shir for you. And then it turns out that when you're saying these words, so this refers to the penimius of the ore that is inside of the beard of Erich Anpin. Now remember, we talked about this. And remember, what does the word tikkun mean? The word does not take, it's a tikkun olam, you take a word and you could, but tikkun means hismatus of the light. Hismatus means diminishing the light of God. And why would we want to do that? Because the light of God is not a material thing. It's not something that can be measured by physicists. It comes before that. way, way before, and it is not physical. But nonetheless, all the physicality that we know surrounds it. Surrounds this light. It's on the inside. It's on the outside too, because it created all the system. So it says, "Me, Kale Kamohu, who's a God like you," which go over it real quickly. And then it says Kale. So this is Kale is the outside of the follicle of the hair follicle of the beard of Erich Anpin. And we went through, so it says simply, what is it about the beard of Erich Anpin? Because it's as smart as the light. The light flows through the channels of the beard and becomes smaller. Remember this. This is the opposite of the way that this world works. Our world works as bigger is better. Might makes right. So he has here that he shows us something that I noted the last time, and I just want to go through it again because it's been a little water under the bridge. He says when you say this, it develops a makif, two different types of ore, and a panemi. It has a light, which is a yud, and a kli that holds the light. Then you go down, where here it says malchus. Then the next one, which is nose avon rachu and rachum, which would be the outside and the inside. It has two different kinds of lights, but now the light you're dealing with is the light of Yesod, and then you're going down one in terms of the panemi is chesed. Now, I'm not telling you why this is going on. The idea is to just look at it and see what it's doing and see if there's a bigger picture, because it's painting a big picture. Here we have a makif, which is on the bottom. And Bina, let's say Bina is the world of the Rosh. It's the world of superior consciousness, of real understanding of this world that we're in right now, which seems so dark. So it says Malchus, so the Makif is Malchus, and the Panimi is Bina. You go down to Nose Avon and Rachum, which is on the outside. It's changed from Malchus to Yesod. And then the Bina went, which means that it's going upwards. Malchus is on the bottom, Yesod is above it, and then after that you get Hod and Netzach, and all the way up to the ladder, up to the very top, to the whatever is 13, and we're going to be looking for it. So then if we went down a little bit more, so we see that the Makif is now going to be Hod. So the Makifim are going upwards. But the Panimim are going downwards. So now we have Chesed, we're going to Gevura, then we're going to go to Tiferes. That's, you could review it, you could look at it. These are all meditations. Meditations referring to the flow of light through the 13 attributes of mercy. That's one way. And the 13 attributes that came from Michal. It's interesting that Michal is the Penimius. Michal, you have to look for Michal. In Moshe, when Moshe said Kel Rachel V'Chanim, and all of that came out of the Chumash, everybody knows that. And that's maybe perhaps we could say, so that's because, why? Because it's the outside. Remember, the Penimius is not seen. It's covered. The Penimius is a light of nothingness. So it's covered. So we learn to look at the covers. Let's go. Now, what we're going to do now, we're going to go to the next page. We're going to analyze it again, and we'll do a little bit more. So we come to the phrase in Michal where it says, Lo hexik la'ad apo. He will not hold forever his anger. Lo hexik la'ad apo. Will not fortify, maybe la'ad apo, not continually try to be strong, to overpower with his anger. Here we got down to the makif, which is Tiferes. As we said with the makifim, we're moving up. In the Panimi, we're moving down. It's going to be Netzach. Now over here, like once again, I didn't complete it. I didn't do it. It's hard for me, so I'm doing the best I can. Lo hexik la'ad apo. That is the inside. Now, I am sure that there are depths to this. How exactly you use the panemius, or what could it be used for? And then apayim is on the outside. Apayim means really long nostril, which means patience. Tikuna techamishoa. This is the fifth tikkun. The dikna the Erich Anpin. Shuhu urcha shebe'emsach hazakan. It's a path that's down the middle of the beard. Next. He says, Lo hexi la'adapo, he will not hold. That's what it means, it's anger forever. In other words, he'll let go. There's a possibility as the world turns, if it can turn in a bad way, it can turn in a good way. And we pray that it should continue to turn in a good way, whether we understand it or not. God bless us. So he says, when you say the chafetz chesedhu, why doesn't he hold his anger forever? Because the Pneumius is that he wants chesed. That's what he wants. He wants to give. That is covered over with Rav Chesed, by saying, well, we have the idea right here. This is all Chesed here. But he says over here, now if you look at the or itself, the light, the or itself is, I think I left out the left column as I was working here, so we'll work on it. The Makiv is Gevura. Once again, we're moving upwards in the Makifim and Hod, going downwards in the Panimi. So the or is Hey Yud. Now, I'm not sure what that means. Oh, I do know. We're now in the lights, we're in a sequence of Avaya in a Milui form. That is Yud, the or starts as a Yud. It has a Kli, which is an Aleph. Remember, the Kalim seem to go with Ekya. Ekya is Bina. So in the relationship to Chachma, Bina is a Lavush. So these goes along with this idea again. This is the Yud and the Aleph like that. So that's the Kli is the Aleph, it's Lavush, and the Or is the Yud. Then it comes down here to the next one, Ki Chafetz Chesedhu. The Or is the other part of the name Yud Kei Vav Kei. In other words, you're going to get a Havaya here over the course of this. He's going to show us 4 different parts. And the Kli is the Hey Yud of Ekya. We're in Gevura in the Makif, Hod in the Benimi. This one is going up. This one is going down. Yashuv Rachamenu, return his mercy. And then underneath that and surrounding it, actually, it's interesting that he made the Panimi big and he made the Makif small. I would have thought it had been the other way around. But I think because he does this, because the Iker, the real Iker of this is Yashuv Yerachamenu, come back and be our merciful one. Bring us mercy. Goes along with the Makif called Chesed, it's going upwards. And the Benimi is Yesod, going downwards. And then we have the Or. This is the Yud. This is the Yud K Vav K. Now what happens here? I don't know. I'm going to have to look ahead because unless you want to learn it with me, but it's I'd like to get it more condensed. We get down to Yikvosh, he should suppress Avonosenu. The Makif is Bina now, you've gotten up to Bina. But inside of Bina is its opposite, or on the other end of the spectrum is Malchus, which is physicality. Makif is now moved to Yisod, and the Panimi is Chesed. Notzer Chesed is a gematria of Av. I don't see that. This is Av. This is 130, 230. Oh, my mistake. So it's Chesed is gematria 72, which is the Moach called Av. Okay, I'm going to have to take some time to look at this next one. I can try it now. We'll just hold. Yes. Okay, I came back. I saw that this pattern has changed. So in the last set, when we came down to this is Tikkunim Teminor, this is the 9th Tikkun. So there were 13 Tikkunim going down the beard of Erich Anpin. Now the numbers 8 and the numbers 13, put them together, make the number 21. I don't know if it means anything. Those tikkunim are special. So we're on the 9th tikkun. The 9th tikkun says, so he says, Yashuv Rachamenu was the 8th tikkun, Shuhu Tren Tfukim, which are the two cheeks of the face of Erich Anpin, which have no beard. They just shine. That's the number 8 one. So we see that we went down. Let me run through this once more. We went down through Tiferes, the Makif, Gevura, moving up, Chesed, and then finally reaching the stage of Bina. With the Panimi, that's the Or Makif. With the Panimi, it started at Netzach, then it goes down to Hod, it goes down to Yesod, and finally ends up in Malchus, and you have the Panimi of Malchus and the Makif of Bina as the Oros. Now, the meaning of it, they don't know. Just trying to translate what I see on the page. So he says, Yikvosh Avonosenu should suppress our sins. He says, Tikuna Taminoa, this is the 9th Tikkun de Erich Anpin, Shuhum Mazal Elyon Sada Zakan Hanigla. So this is, he says, which is the Mazal Elyon? Is this the, on the side, that's what it sounds like. He says, Tikkun Shavi, no, this is Shemini. Tikkun Itzaminoa, this is the 8th Tikkun of Erich Anpin. It's also known as the Mazel Elyon. Now here you see the origin of the word Mazel. Mazel is 70, let's see what it is. It's 47 plus 30. It's the number 77. Doesn't necessarily mean anything to me. The 8th Tikkun is the Mazel Elyon, Sada Sakan Hanigla, and it's on the outside of the beard. And it goes along with the idea of Notzer Chesed. He guards Chesed. Chesed is a gematria of Av, and he shows you the Av. Now this is, remember we got down from Bina and Malchus, so the Makif of the Bini, we have the Makif oh, no, he shows the Kesser is different. Bikan Maskil Kesser. This is where the Kesser starts, and we start with Kesser here now. Kesser is going to have 3 parts. Bina is going to be the Makif, and Malchus is going to be the Panimi. Then the middle line, he's going to show let's go to right, left, middle, is that the light is on the outside, and it's the letter Hey of the Yud K Vav K, and the Kli is a repetition. Fits right in. And then the Makif of the middle line is going to be at Yesod, And then the panimi is going to be chesed. So I've lost a little train of what's going on just looking at it. I'll try to keep figuring it out, because there's always a connection. So there's a bigger picture. Now we come to the phrase. This is the panemius of the hair follicle, which is the, see, each one of these names molds the light of God in a certain way, because each one of these, it's not names, it's actually stages, or they call them the midas. They're different measurements, they're different places where the light constricts in different kinds of ways. This light is called vasashlish bebetzulas lam, and sent into the depths of the sea. Kol hachatosim, all of their sins. Okay, so he says this is Tikkun Teshiyah. This is the 9th Tikkun. I guess you can't see it. Oh my goodness gracious! Let me go back and do it again real quickly. When we get to the phrase "v'sashlich bebetzulas yam kol chatosim," we see that there's a makif of Hod and a Benimi of Gevura. That's how they're moving now. I'm sure they're going to understand this. And then we have also the Or. Goes into a Kli, which is a Yud of the Yud Ke Vav Ke, and goes into the Aleph. So we're going like this. I looking down below. The Or and the Keli, Or, Keli, Or, Keli, like that. That's the way it's organized. So he says, so the Or is going to be a K of Yud Ke Vav Ke, which is the K Yud of the name Av. And then Vav is the Or, Vav Yud Vav. And then Hey, Yud Ke Vav Ke. Hey, but he repeats it. It's Hey, Asher Nishbata Lavosenu, and Kli, the Or and the Kli are the same. Okay, so here we have Or fits into this Kli, Or fits into this Kli, Or fits into this Kli. Now he says over here on the right side, looking at the lights, the light of Netzach is the Makif. The light of Tiferes is the Panimi. Then it moves, the Netzach moves up one to Tiferes, and the Tiferes moves down one. Gevura is the Makif. Gevura came after Tiferes. It's going up. And Hod is going to be the Panimi. It's going down. So we're going to have another set of protection like that. We'll review it again tomorrow. This is really all, this is outer space, but it's really inner space. It's the space that somehow is empty that we seek. We seek the name of God.